childhood. Um, I mean, there would be anger in the home and stuff like that, but no drugs or no alcohol. And like I knew early on, I mean, I had compulsive behaviors and obsessive behaviors long before I took a drink and a drug. Um, but there was like early child trauma, and around 13, that's when I started using and drinking. Um, and it started off with just alcohol and weed, and hiding that, and the whole gambit, and it got progressively worse, especially like after high school. Full-fledged alcoholic. And I, the whole gambit of that, progressively getting worse, not being able to hold down jobs. I did graduate high school. It was like every day I needed to drink, and I needed to smoke weed, and then, do other party favors, like when that would come around, and then it slowly graduating into harder substances because I just needed more of the effect. I needed to numb out is what I needed to do. I needed to not think. And my life revolved around, me and getting my fix. And that was just a daily thing for a long time. And then hospitals were introduced because of my drinking, and tons of failed relationships. And I could never figure out like why these women or why these relationships would last like 3 years, but then like end all of a sudden. It was just because I was I loved the bottle and my addictions more than that. And the common denominator was me, but and then jails, and then all the yets, all the things, like I wasn't gonna smoke meth, and and then I fell in love with meth. Because I would see my aunts and stuff like that, their house, and I would go over to their house early on, and the raids, and the characters that would go through that house and just do whatever the fuck they wanted, like it was their fucking house, and I just couldn't fucking believe it. And I was like, that's no, it's not going to be me. And sure enough, I went full-fledged tweaker. Living at the river, I primarily lived Southern California in my early childhood, like up until like my early 20s, and then up north, they moved up north because of spiritual stuff. And that's where I just went off the rails, got introduced to rehab because I almost OD'd, and that was, with I downed a whole bottle of benzos after a breakup. I was just super depressed, and it was in the middle of a blackout. It wasn't on purpose, but my parents came to my room, like I didn't wake up. They're like, where the fuck is Zack? He should be up. And they found me blue in the face, and then they just rushed me to this rehab, and I stayed like 29 days, and I was going to go into the sober living after the 30, and I went AWOL, and then I found my drug of choice. But still kept drinking, but then eventually it was just the tweaking and being up for like months and months and months, and sucked up and going to jail more. And then, I was in and out. I went to a whole lot of meetings in my life, like a fucking lot. And, never like the time before this time, and I'm coming up on 3 years next month on the 20th. And thank you. And God gets all the credit, honestly. But all the times before, I thought I would get this thing by osmosis, and I had knowledge. And I never gave it an honest attempt until the time before this one, and jail helped that one, and rehab, and then I came out and I was doing all the things, and it worked. And then I went like Cali sober. But I worked the steps, and I told myself to my sponsor and whatever, and restarted the clock. And I was like, fuck. And it took the steam out. But I got a job, and I got the car, and I got the house back. And then I just stopped calling my sponsor, and that so I consider that my honest relapse. Sobriety lost its interest. I was in control again, and then I went out with the intentions to go out for like three weeks, and I went out for fucking 4 months. Lost the job, but didn't lose everything, and it didn't get back to like wanting to die or not exist. So this time around, like it was a psychic change and a moment of clarity, looking at the fork in the road and seeing that like I can go on doing it my way to the bitter end, and I will totally destroy everything in its path, and myself included, and be thoroughly okay with that, or just do something different. And I was like, fuck AA. And I was like, I remember telling my brother-in-law I was going to do it my way, and then it fucking awestruck me. And it was like, fuck, the one thing you never done like 100% is like this program. And from that, well, a little bit after that recognition, I had to finish my bag of dope. and then I went full steam into AA, and fuck, I thought I was just going to stop using and drinking, and that would have probably been enough. But thank God that this program offers so much more. And I don't know how to express that enough, because like realizing that like the problem has been my brain and this thinking thing that I got, of course, when I put in, it's all bets off. There's no telling what would happen, but it's not going to be good. Maybe for a moment, but, and so the allergy, the obsession and all that stuff, but this spiritual malady, the void of why I used to drink and the rooted causes and conditions of why I drink is the stuff that I work on today. And it's, it's alcohol and drugs are a symptom, but the beast is me, and that's what I've been working on this last 3 years. And my life has turned around. Like it's not even a comparison anymore. I didn't think this life existed. And it just keeps evolving, and it keeps getting sweeter. And this God that I'm like in contact with now, that I believe is internal and external. And when I seek it inward, I find it 100% more. But I get to see it in all of you, and you guys get to show me how to do this one day at a time. And I'm forever blessed to this program. I'm forever blessed for that big book, and people that I can trust in. And that's all I got. I hope y'all stay.
Thank you. Let's see where we're at. Let us recite the serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Now our main speaker, we shall share his experience, strength, and hope with us. Please join me in welcoming Jack G. Welcome, thank you.
Hi, Jack Grisham, alcoholic. I love being sober. I love being here, and I want to thank myself for coming out this evening. And I'm fully serious about saying that. I hear these guys, and thanks, Zack. I want to thank Zack. Zack didn't know he was doing this until a minute ago, so anyway, that was nice. And I like it that Zack cusses more than I do, so I will sound clean. But I'm thanking myself for coming out here. I hear these guys all the time. They say, God did this, God did this, God did this, God did this. And, what are you doing? I think to myself, how many times I've been here before and I didn't do shit. I didn't do anything. And I'll hear these guys go, God willing, God willing, God willing. Well, I'm sure God was willing every time I showed up. But Jack was not willing. And so I didn't do it. I didn't do anything. And I'm one of these guys that always say, God did this, God did this. Why'd God get you loaded? If God's so involved in what you're doing, why get loaded? Why'd you get loaded in the first place, And I realize how much will it takes. And I'm a fundamentalist, basically. I'm an AA fundamentalist. I'm a big fan of the big book. I love it. And, and I know that in the big book it talks about will. And it's not God's will versus self-will. It's an alignment of will. It's that my will matches. Because it's taken me a lot of will to do stuff, to go and make amends that I didn't want to make, to be willing to turn myself in for stuff that I didn't want to be turned in for. Whatever it took. And there's a great line from Chuck C. And Chuck says that I need to be willing to go to any lengths, but AA has not asked that of me. And that's another thing, something, a lot of times when we get new friends here, and everybody's going to tell you what to do, it's fine. Get a sponsor, get the book, go here, go here, go here. And here's what I'd tell you. Don't do anything. Just sit in the fact that you just wandered into the only organization in the world that asks nothing from you. Nothing. There are no requirements for membership in AA. You do not have to go to meetings. You don't have to study the book. You don't have to do anything. Just come in here and sit in that. There is nowhere, no organization, no church, no nothing that wants nothing from you except here. This is the only place. And sometimes I think, that our new friends, they don't realize that much, but to just sit in that comfort for a minute. Sit in the comfort of this place. And anyway, I'll give you my sobriety date. I know a lot of people get very concerned about that around here. And so January 8th, 1989, so 37 years. I'm a little behind you. Yeah, and I did not want to be here, man. My buddy Frank used to say, if you're brand new and happy to be here, you are too sick to stay. And because this is bad news, man. This is bad news. You are now in AA. I don't know if you're aware about it. It's a Saturday night. You're in a church with us. And I can't even. I had a moment of a spiritual awakening one time. I got a little kid holding my hand, calling me dad. I'm at a chili cook-off on a Saturday night, a bunch of old men standing with their coffees next to me, right? I got this little kid holding my hand. There's a talent show going on. It's a chili cook-off talent show. The lady is probably my age now and wearing a way too tight sequined outfit, tap dancing. And I thought, what the fuck happened to my life, man? This is such a bummer. And God, and then I think back to this dude. I had this guy sitting next to me because this is 37 years. I always wonder when these guys get up here and they talk and they're still talking about the day they got sober. It's like, man, did the promise of more being revealed didn't come true for you? That's not here, huh? New shit has not come to light in your life. I can tell you in 37 years, a lot of new shit has come to light. Constantly. I still think of myself as a newcomer. I pity the day I think I'm a long-timer. Who's climbing time anyway on the timeline of the infinite God? You're a long-timer? Killer. You're killing it, bud. Great. Excellent. I heard this guy say one time, he said the ripe fruit rots on the vine. I can't tell you how many AA meetings I've walked into that smell like rotten fruit. It's a bunch of rotten fruit in there. Sorry. Anyway, not here. Of course, not here. You guys are very vibrant and alive, willing to learn. Just right there. But it's always changed. But anyway, so I'm sitting in this meeting this one day, and this guy's sitting next to me. And when someone's you don't have to say a word, but something's wrong, right? You can feel it. Like when they walk in the room, man, and I can feel this dude next to me, right? And I can feel he's distressed. And then I get this smell, like this acrid smell. It was like somebody had put tinfoil in the microwave or whatever. Like something's burning or whatever. I look at him, and the guy looks back at me, and he goes, fuck, Jack. He goes, I got a PhD. I go, yeah? I go, and you're sitting next to a guy that's got shit in his pants. What now, doctor? Anyway, he never came back, but it doesn't. But it's like all his learning, man. He ended up here. All right, good. So All right, real quick before we get, well, I guess we're already rolling, but before we get rolling, as I said before, I'm a fundamentalist. I'm a big book fundamentalist, which is funny because I run into a lot of supposed fundamentalists that are not. I'm a big fan of using what they had then. They didn't have phones. That's another thing. I love these guys. I answer my phone. Let's go back to 1935. Nobody's got an answering machine or a cell phone. You got to call an operator. Do you remember operators? You got to call an operator and say, I'm trying to reach this guy who's going to connect you to this guy and get involved. And, they didn't have phones. They didn't have cars. They didn't have anyone with time. Oh, I love that one. Get yourself a sponsor with time. Really? What's Bill going to do? He's got no time. He's got nothing. My old mentor, Joe P., his sponsor got sober with Bill and the guys in 1940. In Brooklyn, the Tuesday night candlelight meeting. And I was so stoked at first saying, what'd you guys do, Joe? You studied that book? You studied that book? He goes, no, man. He goes, we didn't read the book. I go, what? What do you mean you didn't read the book? He goes, why the hell would we read a book about us? I go, what? He goes, no, God damn it. The book's for people that aren't with us. You're with us. We'll show you what we're doing. You're the book. We're the book here. I want to talk about that phone thing. You want to know the first thing I ever identified with in Alcoholics Anonymous? Surely not the drinking. You guys are a bunch of just crybaby quitters. That's what you are. Oh, couldn't handle your booze. That's why you ended up here. Your wife got mad or something. I lived with my mother. She was never mad. But the first thing I identified with, I start going to these meetings, right? And so I get a phone call at my mom's house, and it's one of these AA guys. And I'm like, don't call my mom's. Don't, keep it down. Dude, I don't know you outside of those rooms. You keep it over there. Don't call up in here. He's calling my mom's house, right? So he's on the line. He's dead now, but he's on the line, and he said, I figure, well, he's on the line, so I'll talk to him. And I go, so what do you want, dude? I go, what's going on, man? He goes, I think my girlfriend's cheating on me. I go, yeah? Why? And he goes, well, when I call her phone, it's busy. And when I call his phone, it's busy too. Now, for the young people in the room, we used to have phones that when you call somebody and they're on it, there's no call waiting, there's no nothing. So when you call somebody, you get a busy signal. So imagine just needing to talk to someone right now. I go, what happened? He goes, I called her phone, it was busy. I called his phone, it was busy too. I go, well, did you do an emergency breakthrough? All right. See, this room laughs because you're older. They're not, although you are older. Anyway, so an emergency breakthrough was you used to be able to dial 0 and get an actual person, and you could talk to them and say, hey, I need to reach these people. Can you do an emergency breakthrough? And so the operator would break into the conversation and say, I have an emergency breakthrough from John Smith. Will you release the line? I go, did you do an emergency breakthrough? And he goes, it was declined. I go, that bitch is cheating on you, man. And the minute I thought that, I was in. I go, here's what we're going to do. You get your car. I'll get my mom's car. We'll block the street off. We'll blah, blah, blah. It's like that guy hit the jackpot, man. He knew he got the right guy. Sit back, sir. I will handle this for you. I'm a kidnapper. I'm in 100%. I mean, I really am a kidnapper. I'm 100%. And then I start going. I start laying out the plan. And in the middle of it, I think, oh, my God. I know this dude. I've seen this guy. This guy is the worst of all alcoholics. And I think just like him. And that little chink, just a little crack in the armor right then. I just hung up. We didn't go. Anyway. And I wanted to say real quick, once I got sober, and I'm going to go back to how I got sober, but once I got sober, I went through a period of really gnarly sobriety. Like I said, I'm a big book guy. Normally, if someone says they're a big book guy, run. It means they're very controlling, pedantic, control. I mean, I could give you a whole list of them, man. And I got out of control. Studying that big book, hunting people down, forcing guys to talk to me. I'm calling Dr. Paul. I'm going all over the place. I'm bam, 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 bam. Going into meetings and listening to you share and judging you for what you just said. Sitting in the meeting, bullshit. Bullshit. What the fuck? Bullshit. And not only am I judgmental, I'm confrontational. And I'm not small. So I'd come up to somebody after me, I'd go, where'd you get that, man? They go, well, I got it from my sponsor, who got it from his sponsor. I go, then your grand sponsor's a fucking idiot. Oh my God, it was gnarly. It got to the point where it was Jack Grisham party of one at the meeting. And one of my old mentors used to call me the sheriff. He goes, sheriff's here. Just so gnarly. And at the same time, so I'm ripping apart the big book line by line. And I got a big book meeting at my house on Monday nights. That house would be packed. I am shoving that book up people's asses one word at a time. People would go to the meeting, we'd be on a paragraph, they come back 3 months later, we're on the next paragraph, right there. That's how far we've moved. I one time did 3 weeks on the word rarely. And I was the only one talking. I had a new guy ask me one time, he goes, how long does this last? I go, you're going to have about 5 years when you get out of here, bro. Anyway, terrifying. So I'm tearing apart the big book. Now, that's not enough for me. I start tearing apart the New Testament. Now, you can't find any of those guys still alive. You know what I mean? Like, I want to go, what really happened, man? Dude, I don't want this bullshit you're telling. I want the truth. So I'd be seeing guys, they'd be studying their Bibles. I'd walk up and go, we got the same dad. And they'd shut the Bible and try to ignore me. It's just frightening. All right. Scott Redmond turns me on to Anthony DeMello. I want to talk to Anthony DeMello, but he's dead. So I call people that know him, and I'm saying, is there anyone left who thinks like that guy that I can speak to? I'd like to speak to somebody who thinks like that guy. They're going, what are you talking about, man? And they hook me up with the Jesuits. So I have a Jesuit brother. Okay, I hope you're staying with me on all this story rambling. So I hook up with a Jesuit brother whose title on his door is Spiritual Advisor. That's his title. So I'm tearing apart the big book. I'm tearing apart the New Testament. I got a spiritual advisor. I'm out of control completely. I come into Brother Charlie one day, and I say, Charlie, what is the best translation of that New Testament? What's the best translation? Because I'm in. I'm going to learn Aramaic, which is actually funny because I am in an Aramaic Bible study now, but it doesn't matter. But I'm in 100%. I'm going to get love and service in Aramaic tattooed across my back. I'm in. I go, what is the best translation? And Charlie looks at me and he shakes his head. And he says, man, he goes, what a shame that you're that hung up on those words. I go, huh? Because I'm thinking he's going to tell me, good job, jump in, go harder, study. What a good boy. Look what a good study you are. He goes, you know what? I don't want to hear another word of scripture coming out of your mouth. He goes, as a matter of fact, I want you to shut that book and I want you to stop it. And when you take your walk in the morning, because I walk down on the beach, he goes, when you take your walk in the morning, I want you to ask God to come with you and I want you to shut up. I want you to listen. The next morning, I walk out on the beach. I invite God to come with me. We take a walk. I have had very few pleasant spiritual awakenings. Most of my spiritual awakenings are always, fuck. Because I see something in me that I did not see a few minutes before. And there it is, pasted right in front. I'm walking down that beach with God walking with me, and I had a spiritual awakening. And I realized what I was doing by tearing that big book apart, line by line, word by word, phrase by phrase, this old dictionary, 64 periods on this page, blah, 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 blah. What I was trying to do was control the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. Control the program of Alcoholics Anonymous. And then I realized by tearing apart the New Testament the way I was doing it, I was also trying to control my God. If I could pin my God down to a word or to a phrase, then I controlled God. Frightening. I went back home and I picked up that big book that I know so well that when people would quote it in the room, they'd look at me to make sure they had quoted it properly. I picked up that big book and I looked at it and it was like I had never seen it before. The words were jumbled. I didn't get it. I didn't understand it. I didn't know what was going on. I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, man, there's got to be rigidity. I've seen the rigidity. I know it. I know it. I know it. And I jumped into that big book and the first place I went to is that third step prayer. We tell our guys, say this. Here's the prayer. Repeat this prayer. Do this prayer. Get on your knees. Do this prayer. You know what it says after the prayer in the big book? That prayer in the big book, do you know what Bill says? The wording is optional. Optional. You can say anything you want for a third step prayer. Some guys' third step prayer is, fuck it, I can't take anymore, I'll do whatever you want. And they do it. Do you know that in the last 37 years, I've seen more of those guys stay sober than the ones that can say the prayer by rote? I've seen more of the ones that just don't even give a shit. They're just going to grab a broom and start sweeping. They don't care. I'm thinking, okay, but I've seen that fourth step in the big book, lines and columns, lines and columns. Maybe he was on meth, Zack. You never know. Lines and columns. It was very well organized. And we see that thing, the book, we see it, lines and columns, lines and columns. You know what Bill says before the lines and the columns? He says, we were usually as definite as this example. Usually, not always. Usually. Sometimes we do other shit. Do you know there's another fourth step in the big book? Dr. Bob's fourth step, completely different than Bill's. Bob's fourth step was you told Bob your story and he gave you your defects of character. I've done that. If you really want to stay and have a healthy sobriety, try it. If you're brand new, do the lines and the columns. We'll give you a pat on the back, say you're killing it. You're doing a great job. You want to really stay sober? Give paper and pencil to everyone that knows you. Ask them to fill out your fourth step for you. You'll have a list of defects the likes of which you have never seen before. I do what? Yeah, every day, asshole. Going through that book all the way through, looking for rigidity, relationships. You know how many people are involved in the relationship situation? 2. Bill says both of you will know. Not all 6 of you. Not you, her sponsor, your sponsor, the grand sponsor, and the other grand sponsor, and the committee. Will know when you get back together. 2 of you. 2 of you. You know what we preach these days in Alcoholics Anonymous? Fear-based sobriety. Hear it all the time. Get in a bad relationship, gonna get drunk. Do this, gonna get drunk. Do that, you're gonna get drunk. Big book, Bill says, no, man, we're gonna make mistakes. It's okay. We're gonna make mistakes, and we got a way to clean them up. We're gonna act on what used to be the hunch, the inspiration, gradually becomes a working part of the mind. It's okay if you screw up. All the way through, man. All the way through. You look at the chapter of the wives. Never, ever. I know it's a double never, double negative. All right, English people. But anyway, we don't try to guide people's affairs. We don't shield them from temptation. We let them come and go as they please. Used to let them come and go as they please. Not anymore. Now we've decided that we can corral new people. That we can give them the power to stay sober. Crazy. All right, I'm done with all that. Anyway, when I got here, I was living at my mother's. And if it was up to my mother, and she was still alive, I would still be living at my mother's right now. The Al-Anon people never got one hand on my mommy. The blood of the lamb was spray painted on our front door, and the Al-Anons drifted right on by. I would go to jail, and my mother would say, they're always picking on you, sweetheart. I would be passed out anytime, day or night, normally with my pants off in the neighbor's yard. And if they had the balls to complain, my mother would say, leave him alone, he's an artist. I think I lost my water. Did it disappear? I don't even remember I had it. Normally my mother would have my water up here. Anyway, so here's how I got to this esteemed plate. Sorry, I hate when people take a drink. When they're talking, it just really bothers me. I think they should just hold it, but now I guess I should show compassion. Anyway, here's how I got here. A buddy of mine got busted on a cocaine trafficking charge, which was funny as shit for me. We're living in Long Beach. He gets busted on a cocaine trafficking charge. He's like 5'6", little curly blonde hair, freckle face, howdy doody looking surfer little boy, right? On a cocaine charge. Great. He goes to court. I believe that more alcoholics are created in court than anywhere else in the world. It is not the first drink. It is not the local bar. It is court. Because hundreds of thousands of us go into court every day, non-alcoholic. I should probably... No, it's my wife. My house is in the evacuation zone. Sorry. Hey.
Hi, lover.
Yeah, I'm busy. I'm talking. Are you okay?
You called me.
Oh. All right. I love you. Bye. Oh, wow, that's a first. All right. My God. But that mommy has better breasts. All right, anyway. All right, that was a bad joke. But it was pretty clean, though. It was a clean bad joke. All right. Anyway, getting back to this, more alcoholics created in court because hundreds of thousands of us go into court every day non-alcoholic. And we get in front of the judge. Judge says, Mr. Smith, you're looking at a year's sentence. But if you were an alcoholic, you could do a 90-day treatment program. I'm an alcoholic, Your Honor. Now everyone is, right? That's what my buddy did. He goes into court and says he's got a problem. I was getting loaded with him 2 weeks before that. There was no problem mentioned whatsoever. It wasn't like, hey, I think I got a problem. I'm going to sit out on that last line of blow. Why don't you clean that up for us? It was, no, are you cutting that even, dog? There were no problems mentioned whatsoever, right? And it's funny, if my wife was here, when I start going out there, she goes, guardrails, guardrails. Anyway, there was no problem mentioned. But now, because he's going to court, now, of course, he says he's got a problem to get out of the sentence. He goes to court. The H&I guys get up there, and you guys put a healing on him, whatever the hell you're doing on them, pumping them full of the Spirit. And he comes back to Long Beach with this crazy walking hand in hand with Bill, Bob, and Jesus trip, or whatever the hell's going on, and he's going to save the neighborhood. Where do you think his first stop is? My mom's house. That's right. I used to say my house, but I got honest at about 20 years sober. My mother's house. I get this. I go, hey. What's up, man? He goes, you got a problem, dude. I go, what? He goes, you're an alcoholic. I go, no, I'm not. I live with my mom. Now, let me tell you what was going on at Mommy's house at the time. I got warrants out for my arrest. I always have warrants out for my arrest. That's how you pay tickets. That's so sad you laugh, but I probably sat on a few benches with you. Anyway. That's how you pay tickets. I also got restraining orders on me. I still believe to this day, if you have never been restrained, you did not really love them. I will prove my devotion. And that is a character defect that's really helped me in AA, because I just keep coming back over and over again. Anyway, Restraining orders, this. I got a girl pregnant. I said, move into my mom's house. Let's have a baby. I move her in. At the same time I move her in, I fall in love with a girl of questionable age, take her to Mexico and marry her. Now I haven't even mentioned the drinking yet. That's what's going on at mommy's house. I walk this guy away from the front door because I don't want my mother hearing talk of alcoholism on our porch. Even though my dad came here on a court card, my brother on a court card, my uncle on a court card, everyone in my family has been down here. My buddy says, come to a meeting with me. I go, a meeting? A meeting of what? He goes, 12-step meeting, come on down. Nope. He goes, come to the meeting. Nope. Come to the meeting. Nope. One meeting. Nope. Come to the meeting. Nope. Come on. Nope. One. Nope. Come to the meeting. Nope. One meeting. No. Come to the meeting. No. One meeting. No. Come to the meeting. No. One meeting. No. Come to the meeting. No. Just one meeting. No. Come to the meeting. No. Just no. One meeting. No. Just come to the meeting. Okay. I'll go. Now, you know why I said I'll go? Because I'm an alcoholic. And I'll say anything to get you to shut the fuck up and leave me alone. Including, I'm Jack Grisham, and I'm an alcoholic. I got a couple of problems with Alcoholics Anonymous, as you can imagine. Not with the steps, love them. Concepts, love them. Traditions, love it. Book, love it. I got a problem with the membership. Bill had a problem with the membership. What do you think those 12 traditions are right here? This is a fear-based decision that has worked out very well for us. Could you imagine creating something this cool and knowing you were going to leave it in our hands? Bill was terrified. Go to an AA business meeting if you want to get a look at that. And my problem is with the membership, and I think we're too quick to get the new people to say they're an alcoholic. We're too quick. And we push them into it. Say you're an alcoholic. Say you're an alcoholic. Don't say addict. God damn it. Say you're an alcoholic. Say you're not. And we push them into it. And you get people claiming alcoholism. They don't even know what they got. They're just saying it because you told them to. Now, they may be saying the truth because you can be lying and not know it. And you can also be telling the truth and not know it either. You get a guy going to the meeting and a court card one time. And he goes there and he's got a court card and he shows up one of those meetings where they go around the room and introduce themselves. The guy's there on a court card. I'm Bud Alcoholic. I'm Frank Alcoholic. I'm Tony Alcoholic. I'm Jim. I'm here on a court slip. Woo! The whole room goes crazy. Like a bunch of monkeys let out of a cage. We got one. We got one. We got one. And you just see their eyes going around. I know what I'm going to say. Depth and weight. Depth and weight. Depth and weight. Blah, blah, blah. And when the meeting starts, the whole meeting's dedicated to Jim and his denial. I remember when I, too, came in on a court card. Jim. That guy's not even alcoholic. He was shooting a round of golf. He shot a shit round. He had a couple of cocktails at the clubhouse, pulled out, got a 502 or whatever the hell they're giving him these days. He got in front of the judge, and Jim was smart enough to get out of a sentence. He said, I got a problem, Your Honor. He sent him to AA. Comes in here. The next time he's in that room and they go around saying their name and they get to him, Bud Alcoholic, Frank Alcoholic, I'm Jim, I'm also an alcoholic. Now, does he think he's any more of an alcoholic than he was before? No. He just wants you to leave him alone. Leave him alone, sign my court card, let me go. Rightly so. Now the bad news. If you're brand new, sitting in here, claiming alcoholism, what you're basically claiming is a fatal illness, according to our literature. Fatal illness. And not only is it a fatal illness, it's a fatal illness that only a God or a spiritual experience can arrest. Do you have any idea how terrifying that is? Be like you go to the doctor, you give your test, you come back a couple days later, and you say, hey, how'd it go, man? He goes, oh. Huh? No. What? Fatal. Huh? Fatal. You don't even need to pay your bill. Huh? Fatal. Yeah, when the basket goes around the waiting room, don't put anything in it. You're fatal. What? Fatal, and I don't really believe in God, but I favor prayer in cases such as yours. You go to the doctor and hear that, you shit your pants. People come in here in AA, they hear it, no connection, fatal illness, claim it, and what do? They go out and vape and have a cookie. Why? You ever wonder why? Because they don't believe it. And we can't make them believe it. We can't make them believe it. Anyway, what am I, a couple minutes? What do I got? Somebody keep an eye on me? All right. All right. Tell my wife. She'll call me. She'll get me off. Anyway, fatal illness. So I tell this guy that I'll go to the meeting with him, right? And then I turn around, I start to walk back to my mom's house, and I have one of those unpleasant spiritual awakenings. And I think, here's this guy calling me an alcoholic. How often have I been drinking lately? I thought every day. Every day. I couldn't remember a day that I hadn't been drinking or sticking something in me every day for as long as I could remember. I couldn't remember the last day I didn't. I thought, shit, man. All right, I'll go. My mom found out I was going to the meeting. She's like, you going to that meeting, sweetheart? I go, yeah. I go, you want a couple of dollars for coffee? I go, I need 40. They got dues, Mom. Hey, take it easy. Who am I to stop her from being helpful? Anyway, I roll in that meeting. Let me tell you, I roll in. Ragged old shorts on. I got these ragged shorts on, Dickies work shirt, cigarette burn holes all over my shirt. All my clothes had burn holes because I'd be smoking, just hammered. I got to say something to you, so I put my cigarette down for a second. Somebody go, dude, you're on fire, man. No, you're on fire, asshole. Just one of those idiots. And at the time, my hair is down to my elbows, loaded with knots. Little do I know I got Jolly Rancher stuck in the back of my hair. I walk in this meeting. I remember walking in, loser. Yeah, scumbag. Oh, yeah, I know that dude from school, man. And I'm not like you. I'm a smooth drunk. I'm a Cary Grant drunk. I'm a visiting drunk. Put me on the 405 freeway, rush hour traffic, bumper to bumper, a couple of cocktails and a Valium in me, I'll get out. How you doing in the back? Who are you? What's happening? I will visit. I'm a visiting drunk. I'm the kind of idiot that shows up in your picnic. It's like, do you know that dude, man? It's like, what's up? I'm in. You know what I heard in that room? Pride. Do you know that Alcoholics Anonymous is the only place besides prison where people try to be the worst? You aware of that? Men and women in here wear the word homeless like a badge. I was homeless. They wear the word convict like a badge. I've been arrested 187 times, dog. Great, go for 188, champ. They talk with pride about the damage they have done to the people around them. I hear these guys say, oh, I paid for my seat. I paid for my seat. Bullshit. You didn't pay for nothing. I'll guarantee that anybody that knew you, cared about you, loved you, or dealt with you paid for your seat here. And they paid dearly. The people around me paid hard for the seat I have in Alcoholics Anonymous. I owe them to keep that seat. They paid for it. I listened to that bullshit and I walked out of here. And I'm going to try to stop on my own. And I did stop on my own. I stopped a whole bunch of times on my own. Like I said when I started, I was always stopping and starting. And this is important. I want to end with this. I ended up getting sober on one of these stop, start. All through 1988, I was in and out. January 8th, 1989, I stopped. The girl that I was seeing at the time, who is now dead from a drug overdose, my wife that I had married, she had gone into rehab. I said, I'll just go to meetings. I'm going to support you. And I went. After rehab, she split. I stayed. She died. I'm still here. I went through these meetings and I sat there for 2 years. And we were talking earlier about the steps. Yeah, you can go through the steps in an afternoon. You can learn the basics of them. But as Edna St. Vincent Malloy said, pity the heart that's slow to learn what the quick mind sees at every turn. The journey from mind to heart. When does that take? How long does that take? I'm almost 2 years sober before I did my first step. And I'll tell you what it was. I was surfing. I was out surfing almost 2 years sober. And I'm saying I'm an alcoholic and thank God for community. I'm with you guys. I'm using the broom. I'm hanging out with you guys. thank God for community. You kept me sober. But it ain't going to last. It's not going to last unless something changes inside. I'm out surfing. I'm having a great day. I know everybody out in the water. Surf hero, great. Get out of the water. Sun's crackling. The salt's crackling on my skin. I'm going to a noon meeting. I go to the noon meeting. My mom gave me a couple dollars. I go to the noon meeting. I walk in. I get my cookies. I get my coffee. I sit down. I fire up a Marlboro Red because that's when you used to be able to smoke in the meetings. And you could tell how long somebody was sober by how yellow their hair was. Guys would be sitting like this with a smoke with just a yellow streak up the front. It's like, oh my God, that guy got sober in the 40s, man. You know what? So I sit down. Now I'm ready to participate. And it's so funny because I just heard my share off a newcomer the other day. He was telling us that he was thinking about doing the steps and what he was thinking about it. What he was thinking about doing, I thought, God damn it, that's me. Because I'm sitting in that meeting and I'm getting ready to participate. Now, I haven't made any amends. I haven't done any of this stuff, but I know what's happening. I'm going to let you know what I think about it. Ready to participate. And it was like the old Groucho Marx show. Duck flies in. Little sign comes off the duck, drops down. The sign says, fuck you. You're going again. I saw myself. I saw every time through my life that I had gone straight and failed. I'd get out of jail. I'm not going to do that again. Failed. I'm not going to hang out with those people. Switching from scotch to brandy, from this to this to this. Fail, 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 fail. I saw myself, all those failures, and I realized that I was going to fail again. And then I thought, okay. And I started to get a little panicked, right? Because I don't want to fail this time. I'm doing good with my kid. I'm cleaned up pretty much with the warrants. I'm doing all right. I like being sober. Blah. I don't want to fail. And then I'm thinking, okay, what did they say? They say, okay, if you want to do this program, study that book. Study that book if you want to make this deal. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, man. I've picked up guys out of hotel rooms covered in their own piss and shit, stinking of booze, and they're quoting Big Book at me when I'm loading them in the car to take them to rehab. I'm thinking, that doesn't work, man. Self-knowledge availed us nothing. And then I think, well, what else they say? They go, you want to make this deal? You get a sponsor with time. Get a sponsor with time who's got a sponsor and working knowledge of the Big Book. Bullshit. Because I saw guys with great sponsors and I watched them drink. I think that's not going to do it either because that's a human power. No self-knowledge, no human power. And then I'm thinking, well, what about commitments, man? What if I get commitments? Jump in. And then I thought about all these guys that had these great commitments and they had all died. I thought, God damn it, man, I'm done. And I crashed. I hit bottom. A lot of people talk about a bottom when they're drinking. Big deal, you're drinking, man. The real bottom, I believe, comes in sobriety. It comes sober when the booze is gone, when everything's gone. Nietzsche said that the kingdom of God is not a place in heaven, it's a condition of heart. And I believe the same thing about a bottom. A bottom is not circumstance. A bottom is a condition of heart. It's a broken heart. And that day, I broke and I realized I was going to go again. And I saw this old man there, George Davis. He'd gotten sober in the late 40s. And I thought, but he's sober, man. And if I jump in, do what this guy does, launch into this thing with all my heart, that I can do it. I've never looked back. There's a line of scripture, and I love, it's one of my favorites. This guy's servant's dying, can't make it there. The guy walks all the way to Christ. He says, hey, can you come back and heal this guy? Just say it. You know what? Just say he's healed and he'll be healed. And Christ said, go back. It's already done. He goes, because you believed in me, it's done. Well, I'll tell you, because I believed in you, because I believed in Alcoholics Anonymous, and I believed in this old man, and I believed if I took this walk, and then one day I turned around and I was healed from a seemingly hopeless state of mind and body. And I've never looked back. And I want to thank you guys for having me, and that's it.